Hey guys, Super Retrocade here. I thought I'd make a video about my retro USB AVS with the Everdrive N8. This Everdrive N8 I purchased from Crix's official web store, and I've got a 32 gig SD card as that's the maximum size that the Everdrive N8 will accept. Then I've got my retro USB AVS, which is a 720p FPGA system that for running regular Nintendo games that has HDMI output and USB power. And this is the limited edition version, which was there was 100 of them sold on Retro USB's website. I purchased this one off an eBay seller secondhand. So I'm just gonna put my SD card inside my Everdrive. And then I'm going to put the Everdrive inside of the retro USB AVS. And one of the things that I'll tell you is the AVS, it really like clicks in. You got to use even pressure and it clicks in there pretty good. Which is one of the nice things about using this flash card is you can just leave it in there and then in the future just pop out the SD card instead of moving cartridges in and out. So now I'll go in the living room and hook this up to the TV so I can show you guys some things. So I'm just gonna set the camera up on a stand here. There we go. I'm gonna hook up the console. This console is connecting to the TV through an M cable. The M cable doesn't really do anything for 2D games. All it's going to do is take the 720p and turn it into 1080p, which doesn't really make a difference at all. I really just haven't taken it out of the setup because it doesn't do anything negative. So I'm going to fire this up. And the controller I'm using is actually a NES Classic Edition controller with a board swap. So I swapped out the internal circuit board with one from a original NES controller, and I'm using this 6-foot extension cable or controller extension cable from Castlemania Games. And this extension cable has been kind of finicky for me. I don't know if I'd really recommend it or not, and I don't know if there's better ones that exist or not. So when you fire up the AVS, it's pretty cool because you have the option to start the cartridge. You've got Game Genie for cheat codes. You've got input options, video options, and scoreboard. And what scoreboard is there's actually a website where you can connect the AVS to your computer and have it monitor your playing while you're playing a game and run this scoreboard software on your computer, where it'll make sure that you're not playing like a tampered with ROM, and it'll make sure that the cartridge is on the up and up, and it'll save all your scores up onto an online leaderboard. And I haven't actually used it yet. I've only used that software to update the firmware on my AVS, but it's a pretty cool capability. I don't think I'm that good at any of these games to where it would be real worthwhile to me, but I might give it a try down the road. So in this video option setting, you can go in here and adjust the video mode, the pixel aspect, vertical borders, scan lines. I'm leaving scan lines off since I'm on an HDTV. Left side, you can choose whether or not like it hides on the original NES consoles, there's a little garbage on the left hand side, and this controls like whether or not you see that garbage or not. And then down here you can adjust the volume, and then you can switch between different color palettes. I've only left it on the original. I know there's people requesting to get some different color palettes in here. I'm not sure if it'll ever happen, but there's some color palettes that have been created that people think are more faithful to the original system, that they've been asking the creator of the retro or the AVS to put them in. I think that the system to me, as someone who grew up with a regular Nintendo, it feels amazingly like a regular Nintendo and looks exactly the way. I haven't found anything that looks wrong or feels wrong. So then in here you can set some options. You know, what controller combination takes you to the takes you back out to the menu, what takes you back out to the Game Genie. So I set select right to take me to the menu, select left to take me to the cheats. And then what I did with the N8 is the Everdrive N8 is pretty awesome in that it allows you to do save states. So on the N8, what I did was select up does save state, select down does load save state. So I'm doing select in all the different directions on the D-pad to switch between this stuff. Then I'm not sure what expansion MU does. I haven't looked into that yet. And then I've been leaving the turbo stuff off, autoplay off. Autoplay, it'll just bypass the menu and go directly to the cart when you turn the system on. And then for the force score, one of the cool things about the AVS is the AVS has a built-in force score for 4 controller ports. And I've turned that off because a light gun will only work if you turn it off. And I have a light gun set up that I'll show you in this video as well. So I'm going to go out here and just fire up a game. So this is booting to the Everdrive N8. And here I've got favorites and Zapper LCD games. So I'm going to start with just favorites. And I'm hitting right to page down. And I'm just going to fire up good old Super Mario Brothers. And everything about this just feels perfect and looks perfect. You know, if there's any lag, I mean, the only lag in this situation, I believe, is from the TV. So this is really a lag-free setup on HDTV. I might just play through this a little bit. I'm not like, I've played this game enough to know if something feels wrong. I think I can beat this game in about 6 minutes, which isn't like a speedrunning record or anything, but I've played it enough to know how it should feel and how it should look and sound. So I'm just gonna jump. See, like that's something that jump there is something I'm not able to pull off on other setups. Yeah, everything, it's amazing how accurate this thing is. Ooh. See, that I found out you can't do in Mario All-Stars, jumping over the pipes when the piranha plants are up. I don't know why, but you can't. I've never been able to do it in All-Stars. See, then what I did right there is I did select and up, which did a save state. So now if I go select and down, I mean, that is super cool. Like having FPGA real hardware on an HDTV with virtually zero lag and being able to do those save states that easily. There I did another save state. Then what's cool too is like I'll do a save state here, and then I'll go out to the menu. I can go to Game Genie. And one of the cool things they got in here is mega jump from standing. So I'm just gonna back out, and then I'm gonna go back to the cart. And then it already has Super Mario Brothers like selected. Usually doesn't take this long. I wonder if it's messed up. In the past, this hasn't happened to me. I'm just gonna hit the reset once. Oh, weird. Okay, so I'm in the flashcard, but it's not showing me the directory. So I'm gonna hit start since I've got Mario 1 loaded. And then I'm gonna do select and down to hopefully load my save state. Yep. So now, when I'm in a when I'm just standing there, I can jump like crazy. But then what's cool too, is if you do select and left, it just turned that Game Genie code. It just disabled the Game Genie codes. And select and left again, it just turned it back on. So it's like you can mess with the game on the fly, like enabling and disabling Game Genie. So that's pretty cool. Oop, yeah, that was my fault. I'm not having the greatest run here. Save states. Okay, so I'm gonna exit out. I'm gonna go back to my cart. And another thing I wanted to show you was on here I've got, where are my S's? Let me go back, favorites. Maybe I don't want a page down. See, this is actually kind of goofy. I don't know where Super Mario is. So I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on. Start cart. Favorites. There we go. So I've got Super Mario Brothers Co-op. And this is a ROM hack that someone made where I only have one controller hooked up right now, but you can actually play 2-player Super Mario Brothers simultaneously, which is pretty crazy. I'm gonna go back to the menu, fire up the cart. And then another thing I'll show you is I've been trying to get, I thought SimCity on here might work. Recently it was found that SimCity for Super Nintendo was actually made for regular Nintendo, and a ROM of it is finally surfaced. When I play it on here, it's all like crazy. And actually something I've been wanting to try is I'm going to go out to the menu, and in that videos options page, or not in video options, in controller options, there's this expansion emu. I'm going to try turning that on and see if that helps with SimCity. No? Yeah, I don't know why, but SimCity is just all crazy on the AVS. But I don't know, I haven't tried playing it on anything else either, so maybe that's just how this unfinished ROM is. I've seen videos though where it looks like a complete game, but maybe those were modified ROMs or something. So another thing I'm going to show you is the Zapper. So this might take me a couple tries to get working right. This extension cable is kind of finicky. And this isn't the official Nintendo light gun. The light gun that I've been using is actually this Tomee light gun, and it's only like $5 on Amazon. And for some reason the photodiode in it seems to work better on HD TVs than the original Zappers does. See, and sometimes this acts weird when I have the Zapper hooked up. Okay, so let's start the card. Let's disconnect the Zapper once. Go to Zapper LED or LCD. So this is Duck Hunt. This is a modded ROM, or this is a hacked ROM of Duck Hunt that is modified to work on HD TVs. So up here it has you adjust the delay. I found that about, I think it's 1 millisecond is the right setting for me. And then I'm just gonna fire the light gun. So now at this point, if my cable doesn't wig out on me, I can play Duck Hunt on my 65-inch HD TV. Oh, there's something going on with this extension cable. Come on. So you gotta get it. There we go. But now I can play Duck Hunt on my 65-inch HD TV. Let me try it. Ooh. There we go. Now it's not. Now the cable seems to be okay. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, so right now I'm sitting about 7 feet away from a 65-inch LCD 4K HD TV using the AVS with an Everdrive N8 with a hacked version of the Duck Hunt ROM. And I'm able to play light gun games on regular Nintendo with this Tomee Zapper. And its accuracy, I mean, every time, it works every time. The only real problem with this is, on such a big TV, it's actually pretty easy. Like I've gotten to it takes me till like round 12 or 16 or something before I ever start missing anything. And here, I'll show you that I can't miss. Let me try again. Oh, see, so this is weird. Earlier when I was playing this, it was working perfectly. Right now, I think I can point it anywhere. Yeah. Right now, I can point this thing anywhere. So right now, it's acting up. And I don't know how much of it is this extension cable. There's got to be better ones. But the system's pretty awesome. I'm just going to disconnect the Zapper. I don't know why it was registering every shot as a hit. Before I was able to play it okay. Before I was able to play it and it was just perfect. So go on here and play another game. Let's fire up Super Mario 3. This is another game I'm pretty familiar with. Yeah, it's just nuts how good they look. just no lag. Oh, I can get enough piece speed. So that's the retroUSB AVS. I think the thing's amazing, honestly. I was kind of amazed when I hooked it up, you know, just how good everything looks and how it doesn't feel like there's any latency at all, you know. And I haven't measured my TV's delay, but my TV's in game mode, and I'm guessing maybe, you know, at most 10 milliseconds on my TV, but I cannot feel any lag. So if you're looking to play regular Nintendo on a flat screen, I would definitely recommend the Everdrive N8 with a retroUSB AVS. And I think those two things would run you about $300, $350. But it's definitely, if you love the regular Nintendo, that's the way to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Super Retrocade signing off. Thank you.